We have with us Rishabh Sawansukha, founder GST Street. He runs a company which is actually involved in widespread training as far as the entire mechanics of GST is concerned. Rishabh, thank you for speaking to us. What has been your initial feedback when you've gone out and trained so many people across the country? How do you see the response to GST is concerned?
I think initially, if I talk about 2 months ago when GST was about to come, people were really skeptical that whether it will be 1st July or 1st September. But when we started training people nitty-gritty of GST, people were enthusiastic, because till today, before GST, people were facing problems of 75 different indirect taxes. So we were already living in so many taxes which were not talking to each other. And when we started telling people that, look, your life is going to be simple once you adopt the automation, then people have become enthused towards GST. And the biggest change which GST has brought is the input matching, wherein the organized people are now calling unorganized people and telling them that you become organized.
Right. So how prepared are we technologically? There were a lot of concerns about whether are we completely prepared technologically in terms of the kind of massive database that will be created, and is everyone trained enough to file all these returns which are at regular intervals? How prepared are we on that front?
See, I think in terms of software companies, they are doing a tremendous job of creating sophisticated software tools which will run on mobile. And GSTN is building the robust network wherein couple of APIs will come in a very soon. If you see that their yesterday website, they have rolled out a complete list of next week what are they going to launch. So they are working day and night. It's a big change. There are more than 150 APIs which has to become. Once everything will come, people will get affordable technology. That's what I believe, because we are working with all the leading ASP GSP providers, and there are a lot of new IT companies have shown interest in easing out the compliance business.
Right. But is this a cause of concern for probably a very small trader who never never thought of investing in any form of technology? For him, it's a huge cost, right?
The government has given a free Excel-based tool also, wherein 19,000 invoices you can upload directly without any cost. And if a small person probably will not have more than this amount of transactions.
So which of these sectors do you think were best prepared for GST, and which sectors were probably the least prepared for GST?
I think the best prepared were the retail, because the retail was really looking for GST because of a lot of inefficiencies will go away. They were not getting the complete value chain. The value chain was not integrated with taxation. Now with MRP regime also going away, transaction value has come. So I would say that anybody who is supporting retail also, like logistics, transportation, warehouse, e-commerce, everybody is very bullish about GST, because their business is going to grow. The B2B e-commerce in the country will also grow, and we can see a fresh capital infusion within the country, and also from outside the country will come into India, because India has shown to the world that, look, we are now certain with our indirect tax system, which is not fragmented, which is not distorted. And you can invest in us.
Right. So three big concerns according to you, that probably traders and companies, big companies, small, everyone across the board, three big concerns you think that they have with this GST regime?
So one is, of course, the rationalization of rates probably should take place sooner than we think. And then this exporters should actually should not get burdened with their working capital problem, because they have to pay taxes, and when they will export, they will get the money back. Right. Similarly, the education and automation should reach faster to the last mile, because that is where the big concern comes, that if I am the manufacturer and I am dealing with 30% unorganized players, how am I going to get the benefit and pass it on to the customer? Because one side I have an anti-profiteering, and another side I have to deal with the unorganized vendors. So that balancing has to be done.
And do you think this anti-profiteering clause is something which is actually the biggest impediment for the
I don't think so, because as of now government has not even they are talking about it as a law. If you see the model, like Australia model and Malaysia model, Malaysia is a prescriptive model and Australia is a recommendatory model. The government has not rolled out a prescription at this moment, and as our revenue secretary has confirmed that they will not use it for everyone. So I don't think so there is a need to worry about it. But of course, if there are gains out of GST, the large companies have a responsibility to pass it on to the customer, and in a competitive market, forces will play.
Okay, one final question, which is also like a kind of a fact check. There are many products which come under the 28% GST regime. If you ask an average consumer or a trader, he'll say, oh, earlier we were paying 14.5, now we are paying 28%, nearly 100% jump. How do you address that? Are we missing out something?
Yeah, because we are missing out a big thing over here. The GST is comprising of central taxes and state taxes. Right. As a consumer earlier, I used to buy from a retail outlet. I used to see a VAT only on my invoice, which is a state tax. Excise duty was hidden behind it, 12.5%. So if I am paying 15% VAT and 12.5% excise, roughly it is 28%. Right. So government has not done any change in the rate. They have classified the items to the nearest rate at which they were earlier also.
Yeah, so that probably information has not gone down to the consumers, you feel.
In fact, if you see the master class of our revenue secretary has also clearly clarified this. But yeah, people are now getting more GST from WhatsApp and from unsolicited sources. As a GST seat, we tell people that there is a one site called gstcouncil.gov.in. It's a government site. You go ahead and then get the sectoral flyers. The government is very proactive in telling people that what is GST all about, and only 175 plus sections we have out of 3000 act and rules which we earlier used to deal with. So it's a simple law. People have to read the law. The problem is that we are not getting attuned to read the law. That is why we are helping GST seat is also helping people to decode the law in a simpler language.